This is it. Has Apple finally given the sleepy Samsung a reality check? The new iPhone 17 Pro Max is here, the best of Apple for 2025 and the rest of 2026. And once again, all eyes ask the same question. How does it stack up against the best of Samsung right now, which is the Galaxy S25 Ultra as its current biggest rival? Which should you actually consider as your true and the ultimate flagship for 2025? And well, the new levels are added to this game thanks to the iPhone 17 launch. When it comes to value, both phones are rocking a kidney-breaking price, but Apple is slightly cheaper. It starts at $1199, while the Galaxy S25 Ultra is costing $1249 at its current moment. So both are pretty expensive, but how do they stack up? Well, design-wise, they both have very standout, exquisite, premium look. They're also gonna feel very premium in hand. We've got a new look with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is changed, but at the same time, it is a continuation of last year's model. And same principle applies on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's slightly changed and tweaked, but overall, they both are keeping their standout look in the market. And I know looks are going to come down to personal preferences, but it's Galaxy S25 Ultra that has superior edge in two areas. It's not only lighter than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, coming at 218 grams versus 233 grams for the Pro Max. It's also thinner at 8.2 millimeters versus 8.8 millimeters on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And keep in mind, Galaxy S25 Ultra is still packing a S Pen on the inside, so this is definitely remarkable engineering on Samsung's part. And it also packs 5000 mAh battery on the inside, but guess what? Apple has finally stepped things up. 17 Pro Max also comes with 5000 mAh cell, actually slightly bigger at 5088 mAh cell, while the physical SIM model has slightly less battery, coming at around 4800 something. It's still pretty close, and if anything, we have seen just how brutally impressive Apple is when it comes to their battery performance. Any increase in their battery size is a nightmare for Samsung, and this is one of those areas where Samsung has just been sleeping for no reason. Keep in mind, they've been packing 5000 mAh battery on their ultra flagship phones for 5 years in a row. During all this time, they should have upgraded the battery to at least 5500 or 6000 mAh cell, and well, Apple has now managed to catch up, and this is not going to be a good news for Samsung. Again, we will be doing a battery test on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. Now, when it comes to colors, both have amazing color options. I do love the orange color on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Some people have mixed opinion. They think it's too much for a Pro phone. But on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, you just have too many colors to choose from. As always, Samsung going extra mile when it comes to color options. You just get only 3 on the 17 Pro Max, and for some reason, there's no black iPhone 17 Pro color this time around, something Samsung offers with the S25 Ultra, so you definitely have more option color-wise with Samsung's flagship phone. Now, as I mentioned, sleepiness, you're gonna see things will dramatically shift from here on. Let's talk about displays. Samsung literally makes displays for the iPhones and their own phones. Then why don't they have brighter screen than the iPhone 17 Pro Max? Yes, the 17 Pro Max has brighter screen at 3000 nits compared to 2600 nits brightness of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. In fact, even the base iPhone 17, which costs $799, has brighter screen than the S25 Ultra. Is definitely not a good look for Samsung. They both are 6.9 inches, 120 hertz, pretty big phones, but Apple is brighter. I honestly never thought that Apple would have edge over Samsung when it comes to brightness, because Samsung has always been on the top when it comes to the display technology. Apple also added anti-reflective screen coating, so this is something that was used to be exclusive on the S25 Ultra, but now you're also getting this on the 17 Pro Max. Apple also understandably takes the lead back from Samsung when it comes to having the most powerful chip inside. The A19 Pro chip is definitely ahead in terms of performance and numbers compared to already impressive Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's been a pretty good chip for the whole year, but Apple just went a step beyond with even more efficiency. A19 Pro's efficiency is said to be on a whole new level, to the point where because of A19 Pro, Apple is claiming that you're gonna get iPhone 16 Pro level battery life on the iPhone Air that has the smallest battery of them all. So I'm really curious to see how the A19 Pro will perform in the bigger chassis fancy build of the iPhone 17 Pro Max that has all the cooling, all the optimization to push this to the max. And this is where Snapdragon 8 Elite is just showing the test of time. Now we have Face ID on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is pretty much the same size as last year's model, so no change there. While the S25 Ultra has a punch hole design, which as I said before is definitely more of a cleaner look than the dynamic island. However, I do like how Apple has turned the dynamic island as a part of the software. Like, it's something they have done very cleverly, and it's something that a lot of manufacturers, including Samsung, has copied over the time. Now, the big reason why people consider pros or ultra phones is because of the cameras. While both Samsung and Apple are nowhere near hardware-wise when you compare them to some of the Chinese manufacturers, once again, it seems like Samsung has slept a little too long, allowing Apple to catch up in areas where normally Samsung would dominate. Apart from the main and the ultra wide, which was already 48 megapixel like the last year's model, they now upgraded the zoom sensor to 48 megapixel as well. This is a 4x optical zoom sensor that can crop into 8x and can do a max zoom of up to 40x. And compared to Galaxy S25 Ultra's 50 megapixel zoom, Apple's zoom sensor is said to have about 1.44 times better low light performance. It was already a close battle with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and now with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, Apple has either matched or surpassed Samsung in terms of zoom performance. Again, another area where Samsung could have increased their leverage. In terms of main camera performance, both phones will be incredible. In terms of video, we know Apple has the edge, but Samsung also closed the gap with the S25 Ultra, but just barely hanging with the 16 Pro Max. And now with 17 Pro Max, the video is said to be even better with more optimization. So 17 Pro Max will likely gonna have the best video performance, edging out, especially in those super low light scenarios. Again, we will be doing a camera test on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Apple also added a new front camera. This is an 18 megapixel selfie sensor that now has center stage feature, which can automatically take photos in both vertical and landscape without you changing your orientation. It's honestly one of the most useful features added to the front camera this year, and it's obviously a higher resolution camera compared to 12 megapixel on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. S25 Ultra's front camera has been incredible, one of the best on the market. Obviously the very best in terms of photos, especially the one I've used is on the Google Pixel 10 Pro. But it seems like Apple is looking to take the throne from Google and Samsung thanks to the new selfie camera sensor. Samsung's gonna hold up pretty well, but for the first time, they could be decisively matched or even beaten in terms of the long-range zoom performance. All eyes on that new zoom sensor on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, looking at the software, we have iOS 26 on the iPhone 17 Pro Max and Samsung One UI 8 based on Android 16, which is yet to be released on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Both of these UIs are going to be one of the best on the market in terms of having so many features and amazing animations, optimization. Literally, these two are my favorite UIs out there. I love the liquid glass design. It is just so beautifully done, but at the same time, Apple Intelligence is far from what Samsung can do. Yes, Samsung steers miles clear when it comes to AI capabilities. Not only you get plethora of Galaxy AI features, which are just insane, like Samsung's image editing tools are just on some different level. The Unreal photo generation, translate features have been there for about 2 years now. Plus you have Google Gemini Assistant, which is so much smarter than Siri, and you get features like Circle to Search. Samsung basically has fully baked AI versus Apple Intelligence, which is half baked at the moment. Apart from AI stuff, I really do enjoy what Apple has done in terms of the UI smoothness and optimization and locking in the aesthetics with the liquid glass design. Overall, if I have to sum it up, I think Samsung has allowed Apple to match or take the lead in a lot of areas like the display, zoom performance, and even the battery size is now bigger on the Pro Max if you go for the eSIM model. Like imagine if Apple has done the optimization right, it could actually beat the S25 Ultra by a pretty good margin in terms of the battery testing. Zoom is looking scary as well. In terms of where these two flagships are standing right now, I just think Samsung has just given Apple a little too much of a of time to catch up, and they have catch up. It seems like this is not gonna be an easy battle, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the iPhone 17 Pro Max stacking up against the Galaxy S25 Ultra? Again, the S26 Ultra is not too far, about 4 months away, so obviously that one is gonna have all the new changes, but for now, S25 Ultra is the one that's gonna battle it out with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on all the coverage. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.